motion.
He shouldn't have to turn it off unless the motion has been made and seconded and it's been voted on. Then we'll see what's here.
There, Mr. Young, you would ask, there's some financial information.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I'm going back to this camera that's in my face.
You're not even in the shot.
It's made and seconded, so they can clear it up.
You worried about the camera, but you couldn't answer nobody's
Excuse me,
question.
Ms. Craig, you're about to be removed from the meeting. Why? Because you're disrupting us. Mr. Adcock, can you see if this camera is cut off, please?
Is that part of my 3 minutes? Because that's part of my constitutional right to film and take pictures. When you act specifically after you do an open public meeting act and put it in the press. So if you want to go there.
You're not recording the meeting. Now you're saying you are recording the meeting, you had the right to do so.
I can take out my phone.
That camera needs to be turned. You can record audio. The policy allows audio recording. That camera cannot be facing the dais or any other part of that.
That's a right.
It's not, you have a constitutional right. Constitutional rights are subject to reasonable restraints and restrictions. You are allowed to record the meeting if you request in advance and notify the board in advance. I've read the entire policy. And in my opinion, I wasn't the one that wrote that policy, but I do think it is a constitutional policy, and you're not in compliance with the policy.
It's a constitutional right.
And you were not being honest with this board when we were told,
Excuse me,
and it's not recording.
don't deal with my character of honesty. After all
I
things
am questioning it, sir. I'm questioning if that's being recorded when it was represented that that is not recording.
Like that. Don't do that. I didn't do it to you.
You didn't. Sorry, you put yourself in that position.
Don't do that. I'm not going to go back and forth.
Wait a minute, I'm just trying to understand, only ask about the camera, so are you recording Steve or is this fella?
Listen, when you're doing good business, it don't matter if you're on camera or not. Do what you're supposed to do properly and you have nothing to worry about. You got too much worrying. You don't want nobody to see what you're doing. That's why you don't want us here. That's why you don't want this to happen. But either way, this is going to get exposed either way. So it's best to try to make yourself look good as you can before I go on air after I leave here. Vibe 609 Radio, y'all can download it on Google Play.
This is way out of order.
So are you.
Way out of order. Way out of order. Excuse me, Miss Fred, like, I gave you a chance, but this is... Oh, you're right, I did. Go ahead.
Madam President, can I speak for just a minute?
Yes, please.
I need to clear up a couple of points because there seems to be a little bit of misunderstanding. So I want to make clear to everybody the position of the police department in this particular issue. We are not legal scholars, and I don't know at all anything about what Mr. Carroll just explained, or what Mr. L explained, or what Mr. Young knows. Here's what I will say to clarify the policy, before I read this off, I'll say that I'm happy to sit down and have a meeting with members of the board or members of NAN or anybody who wants to discuss it further, and I take full responsibility for what I'm going to read to you. This is not board approved or city council sanctioned. To be clear, it's an internal policy. It says, this policy is designed to provide a set of common sense protocols and guidelines in order to effectively and justly administer the security of any large public meetings such as this, maintain public safety, and ensure that the civil rights of all attendees are protected. The guiding principle for all security operations of public meetings shall be to follow the will of the chairperson of the meeting unless it is impossible to do so. Following this standard ensures that police officers are not forced to identify which forms of protest are acceptable and which are not, and thus placing the police officers in charge of the meeting rather than the governing board of the body. Officers assigned to any large public meeting should accomplish the following tasks. This is procedural and it's security related, so I can't really read it, but it's not something specifically relates to this. In the event that the chair fails to take appropriate action to maintain safety, the senior officer of the detail shall warn the chair that if the situation continues to create a hazard, police will intervene and end the meeting. This is the point that I want to make. The police department doesn't know or take any position on what is or is not allowed. The police department has identified a set of protocols with the school board that says, school board, if you want somebody removed, you tell us and we're going to do it. We're not going to ask questions. It also says that in the event that the crowd, or whatever, that the ongoing actions of the board or whomever else are so egregious that they create a potential public safety risk, then we're going to shut down the meeting. And that's all we're going to do. We're not going to, and as I just told Officer Evans a minute ago, we don't make decisions at all. We will either do what the president tells us to do, or we will shut down the meeting, and everything in between is up to you folks to do. But the point at which the meeting is no longer under control and it presents a public safety risk, we're going to shut it down. And we will take full responsibility for that. And when I say that, I mean I will take full responsibility for that. Now that said, I want to clarify again, this is not a board policy, this is not a city council policy, this is an internal police department policy, and if there's issues with it, I would much rather sit down and discuss them in our office, and we can set up a meeting to do that and not here. And I want to say, on behalf of Mr. L. and Mr. Young, they have been cooperative with the things that I've asked them to do in order to maintain order. But if you want it released, you tell us in LD.
Well, I just need the camera to be removed and Ms. Pratt to.
Because he does have the legal stand.
Ms. Pratt, you have to leave.
We have a question.
You don't have to turn it down, turn it away from us.
Chief,
You know what I'm saying? And that will end her issue, okay?
we're gonna take a 10-minute break. Chief. Riggins. Can I get a motion to take a 10-minute break? Riggins. All in favor? Riggins. Wonderful. Hey, Riggins. Chief Riggins.